Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. DAPs.
I'm Katie.
And it works, it sounds like, I hope. And
I hope.
we're doing another bi-coastal episode from Florida and California tonight as I continue to be at Walt Disney World for, actually, tonight is the last night as things worked out. And Katie continues to be in California.
I mean, yeah, I sure do.
I didn't have anything
Somebody's
fun.
got to keep Starbucks running.
Exactly. I didn't have
I have
anything
to keep
fun
the
in that.
entire corporation of Starbucks running.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing.
I,
While
I
while
know.
while you're doing that, what should everybody else do?
I suppose you should go to geekscorner.live, and from there you can type things in the chat and you can yell at us if you can't hear us or you can't see us or anything like that.
That is correct. And we've got a lot of ground to cover tonight. I'm tempted to call an audible and totally switch it around, but I won't do that to you, Katie. But the main reason I am out here is because Epcot is celebrating its 40th anniversary this last weekend on Saturday, to be precise. And I don't know. Actually, October 1st in general, I just really like to be at Walt Disney World. And I feel like I've done this several years now, and it's become a. I see it's freezing for. It's probably because my internet sucks. Um, just a hunch. I don't
Which
know.
is funny because looking at the YouTube stream, I'm the one that looks blurry somehow.
Yeah, I see that. Probably because you're going through me and then up and over. But hopefully you can hear us okay. If you can't, we'll get creative. Um,
This will be a podcast episode of Geeks Corner.
exactly. That's what we're gonna do because my internet is very slow. I am at the All Star Sports. Which my bus driver last night informed the entire bus that it's the least popular of all the All Star hotels at Walt Disney World. After he asked who was getting off at All Stars, and a few of us said, "Yep." And then he said, "Okay, well, I have to ask because it's the least popular at Walt Disney World." So we will keep our eyes on the chat, and if it's bad, you can just blame All Star Sports because that is the truth. This is by far the slowest internet I've ever had at Walt Disney World. And it's
Hello? All Star Sports? Fix your internet. If you cannot see, I am doing a visual gag where I hold up my cell phone to my ear
I mean,
to pretend I am making a phone call.
what you need is the can with string, though, because that would be the same.
Yeah, that'd be more accurate for your technology, huh?
Yeah, basically. So, I did an internet speed test, and normally you're getting like millibytes or megabytes or whatever, and I got kilobytes for the speed that this is going. And just for context,
Whoa, that's so bad.
yes. And just for context, generally you want to have at least 5 megabytes for streaming, and we're nowhere near that. So I'm glad the sound is fine. I apologize for the video, and we will just do our best with
Which
it.
is what I say every week. I apologize for the video.
You never know.
Anyway.
So keep us updated in the chat. We'll try to keep our eyes open on that, and I'll try not to hit the table and make you all bounce. But anyway, the whole reason we are out here is Epcot's 40th anniversary was Saturday, and I do like to come out for things like this. And it was even more fun just because last year was Walt Disney World and Magic Kingdom's 50th anniversary. And so it was kind of a fun like comparison, like what was the 50th anniversary like versus what was the 40th anniversary for this like. And it was interesting because you start the day. We went to the D23 event for the day, which means we got early entry, which I think we already got with our hotels, but that's fine. And we also were supposed to get early access to the store, which we did because of early entry, but it still took us a half an hour to get into the store because the line was already wrapped from what is it, Creations, and then that wall that's going along kind of underneath the monorail right now. We've walked around it a million times. So the line wrapped all the way around that, all the way over to the Imagination Pavilion before regular entry, like the park had opened. So this is like 7:40 in the morning. And that was the shortest it was the entire day. At one point in the afternoon, it was 3 hours. When we walked by in the evening, right before we went to find a place for Harmonious, it was doubling back and forth along there. Like it was a popular place to be. But I will give Disney credit is they weren't running out of merchandise, and I just went in there an hour ago, an hour and a half ago, I guess, and there's still a lot of 40th merchandise available. So good for them on that. I see we have Wyoming. I see we have the Mark Twain. I see we have another resort down here at Walt Disney World somewhere. Uh, but
Don't disclose your location.
don't disclose your. Only I do that. Um,
Yeah, you did that. That's fine. Other people, for internet safety, don't disclose your location while you're in it.
Never do that. Like
Unless you're
only.
Mr. DAPs, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was
Continue.
the start of the day. Then we got breakfast provided for this event over at World Showplace, which was like a continental breakfast with coffee, which is all I needed. I did find it interesting. They served hard-boiled eggs. Is that weird to anybody else, or is it just me?
Um, yes. My gut instinct says yes.
But then I got thinking about like other friends that have had hard-boiled eggs, and apparently there's like a thing that you can, what is it called? Like a vending machine where you can get hard-boiled eggs at the entrance of Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like, is this a
Mm-hmm.
thing that I don't know about? Okay.
I would not do that.
Okay. Anyway, we had breakfast there. There was a photo op. We got to have a picture with Walt doing the Florida project presentation, and then there was another picture. There was actually like 5 or 6 photo ops you could do. We just did 2 of them because it was me and Murray. And then more importantly, was not the official like photo op, but they had a figurine of Figment that was almost as tall as me. Maybe he's taller. I don't remember. I didn't look at the picture that closely. He was about my height. But you could take a picture with Figment. There was a picture or like big numbers of 1982, and then a Spaceship Earth picture you could take a picture with in the middle. And so at about 10:30, we got moved over to the American Adventure. What is it called? America Gardens. There we go. That's what it's called. America Gardens stage, where they had a ceremony at 11 celebrating 40th anniversary, which I think that was something that was missing last year. Like this was something that like they might have done something, but having a little bit more focus on the day, I thought was a really great thing. And and so that was fun. And they had like the vice president of operations for Epcot do kind of like the main speech, and they had Walt Disney World ambassadors. They had the Mariachi Cobra and the Voices of Liberty. And the thing I loved about that is it was all people from Epcot, other than the Walt Disney World ambassadors who are everywhere. But like Walt Disney
Mm-hmm.
World Resort president Jeff Vail was there sitting in the audience. Same with Josh D'Amaro, chairman of Disney Parks and Resorts. And so it was really, I thought it was cool because it really kept the focus on the cast members that bring Epcot to life on the front lines on a day-to-day basis, as opposed to being kind of the figureheads or whatever. And I agree with Clocky. It should have had an intercontinental breakfast, but um, good point. Very good point. But it was a really great start to the day, and it went like 35 minutes ish, and it was a little bit warm, but that was really fun. And then as the day progressed, we made our way back to the front because we'd heard that there might be old music playing, and so they had the classic entrance music for Epcot playing, and that actually played up through last night. And so I sat there twice now, and I recorded the full loop during the day, and I also recorded the full loop during the night, mainly because at night you had the Beacons of Magic playing also, which was another thing they did for the 40th. And if you haven't watched that video, you need to watch it because it is absolutely charming. And I made Katie watch it. What did you think of it, Katie?
Katie's turn to talk.
Well, I had to get through all the setup so we could just like.
I know. I thought it was funny. I was like, I'm just gonna sit here. It's a good night on Geeks Corner when Katie gets to be entertained. So
Oh, good. I'm entertaining.
I didn't say that. I'm kidding.
I can.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was very fun. I unfortunately had it spoiled for me that We Go On was in it. I literally the same night that it was like, I think within 10 minutes of it happening, I knew that it
Because the
was a
internet
thing.
was freaking out.
And then I yelled at Mr. Daps for not telling me. Because I felt like that was very inconsiderate. But truly, he was trying to send me the video so that I would I would watch it first before.
Yes.
If that makes sense. Yes. What I did not know, and I'm
There were
tempted
several
to not
things.
say
Just
anything, but
spoiler alert.
what I'll say is that spoiler alert, I did not know there was a Walt Disney bit at the end. And I thought it was beautiful, and I loved it very, very much. So
yeah,
I think that is one of the best things that this iteration of Epcot has done by far.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and there was a little bit of
So.
me that was kind of like, oh man, like going back to the area music, which there's some overlap, but there was a little bit of me that was disappointed that the new music was back today when I walked into the entrance area. So I was just like, oh, I really like I mean, I like this too. It's really good, but there's something about that.
Yeah, but there's something nostalgic.
Well, and it's time, like the new one's timeless also, but hearing the 1982 in new speakers was a huge difference and a huge improvement. And like Mikey just put in the chat, I could have sat listening to that music all day, and you kind of did, because he and I were in the entrance area on Sunday night, which is when we filmed the night loop, and so we were there for probably an hour almost. Like, I think because he filmed for about 10 minutes, and then I was like, hey, wait a minute, I have a tripod. So then we put the camera on the tripod and filmed for another like 38 minutes or something. And of course, we didn't leave quickly. So, it was a magical thing. How much have you gotten to listen to any of the area music other than you've heard it on a record at my house? But
I have. I have. I've been to your home. Yes. No, I have not watched.
Which I think there's more in this loop than on the record. Well, I know there's more on this loop than on the record.
Yeah, I personally want to put it on when I can know that I can sit and watch the whole thing. Because I want to experience it. But I want to
see the random people walking by.
No, like be able to like listen to it in full.
And I will say, once I get the full evening loop up, which it's not up yet just because the internet is. So the day loop took, by my count, about 18 hours to upload. And that's, at home it would take maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, it was very interesting.
These are the things Mr. Daps does for content.
This is why when I go on vacation, this isn't a vacation, because if I go on vacation, it's going to be somewhere where I'm very connected and there's nothing else I can do. If I go to Walt Disney World, I'm going to film, I think it was 87 videos yesterday, and literally hours upon hours of content that will be disseminated over the coming days, weeks, and months. And then on top of that, I'll be running a website that keeps me up till 1, 2, or 3 in the morning, and then I'll be back up and at it again the next morning at 7.
Here's your pro tips: don't go to Walt Disney World with Mr. Daps.
At least don't share a room with me, because you're just not going to get any rest. I will say, I can hear literally everything going on the floor above me. So, like right now.
Oh, so the people are getting a free episode of Geeks Corner.
Yes.
They have to pay for that.
And I'm getting a free episode of Yes, I Did Wash My Hands After Using the Loo. But yes.
Where's their credit card information?
Right. But yeah, the going back to the entrance loop music, though, it was really cool because there was music in it that I've heard before, but I didn't realize was part of the loop, just because we always hear the same loop now. And that actually I would expect somebody online to have gotten a high definition recording of this, and it's going up anytime. Like it might already be up.
Yeah.
Um,
I would love that.
yeah. And honestly, the one I got yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, that's up now. That one is pretty good, just because I put the camera right in front of a speaker, so you do still hear some people walk by and talking at times, but it's better than the other things I've had. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, that was definitely a win and a lot of fun to do. And I'm trying to think what else happened for the 40th. Oh, we have to talk about something very important from the 40th, Katie. What was
Okay.
the one thing you requested about the 40th?
This feels like a trick question.
Nope, it's a very direct question. It's what did you
I
request?
don't
You
know.
said there's one thing you have
I
to do for the 40th.
Oh, what did I say?
You remember
Oh, the
this now, right?
figment cake. The
Figment
figment
cake.
cake.
Yes.
I said so what the text said was I request one thing, and that is that
Yes.
you get this, or that you make Murray get it and you take a picture of it. I think
But
is what I said, because I
but
knew that since it was a sweet, you might not be down for it.
correct. And honestly, we
Yes.
tried on the day of. So Saturday we tried. It was gone within an hour. Like they were out. Like one person
The
I
cake
talked
was gone
to,
within an hour. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, there was none. One person I talked to said there was only 200 made. I don't know if that's true or not, but that doesn't seem like a whole lot. It was like
Well,
everything they did right with the merchandise disappeared with the figment cake. But so that was gone.
tisk tisk tisk.
So then, like Murray and I are talking about this, and we stayed at the Dolphin Hotel, which is really nice, walking distance from Epcot. Like I liked it.
Mhm.
So we're like strategizing Saturday night. We're like, okay, we're gonna get this cake. Like this is the one thing. And we were told that they'd have it also on Sunday. So we're like, all right, we'll get it on Sunday. So our plan was the first thing we do when we go in Epcot is hit Joffrey's for coffee and the Land Pavilion for cake, figment cake, which in
Mhm.
hindsight, I guess it's because there's no food locations at Imagination Pavilion. Yeah, okay, answered my own question. But so I was like, why didn't they sell it at Imagination as I was speaking through this? But anyway, so we get in pretty much, I think it was like 13 minutes after the park opened. We get our coffee, we zip on over to the land, we go down to the, what is it, Seasons of the whatever to get the food. And they're
Mhm.
like, not out. There's none of these cakes. And we're like, are you kidding me? Were they out for the whole weekend? And so then we asked, and it turns out they don't start selling them till 10:30. So we enjoyed sitting in the land pavilion for a while. And then like we're just jabbering away, and I think Murray got a parfait or something. And I look up and I'm like, Murray, I think you need to get in line, because at 10, like 10, maybe 10:15, there was a line going all the way across like the whole eating area, like where you get the food behind the registers. And so Murray, like, it'll be in the vlog whenever we can get it up and the internet's conducive to that. I'm really bummed that it's not up yet because I really wanted to do it that night, but internet had other ideas. But so he hops in line, and originally, I will say, I think the plan was to just get one figment cake, but then at this point, we had already invested so much time and energy in this that we're like, let's get two. So we got two figment cakes. We tasted the cakes. They are I think they were a sponge cake, if I'm right. And so it was like wrapped around a cream cheese filling that had a little bit of like sweetness to it that I think was lemon, but I'm actually second guessing if it's lemon or something else, because it wasn't tart. It was, I don't know what it was. But it kind of reminded me of the multicolored cake we have in California. And, but with that, and then the only real frosting on it was the figment portion that looked like him, like his body, and then it was like little chocolate wings. And overall, I will say it was very good. Like, it was on the upper end of my sugar tolerance, but you would have loved it. How was that?
Someone is saying that the filling is lime.
Maybe. I believe that. Are you looking it up somewhere, or is it in
Yeah.
chat?
No, I was reading another review of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see it being lime. I don't know, Bailey, if
I
they
don't
still
know.
have the figment cake. I think it was supposed to be through Monday, but I'm not entirely sure. It definitely is worth stopping by and checking it. Also, that reminds me, is part of our D23 event lanyard thing that we had that I don't know where I put. Um, I don't know. Anyway, we got to go on the land through Lightning Lane. So that was my first time doing the land with Lightning.
Wow.
And then, as everybody was leaving the park that night, as I reached over, they were handing out these. Let's see if you can see it. There you go.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
We go on.
And if it's flat, I think I have like 4 of them that Murray took home. And then after he left, I was given another one. So, yeah. That is Epcot's 40th. It's been very interesting being out here, and I'd be curious if Bailey's um, had the same experience. Is yeah, just through Monday because it was just a weekend thing, I think, and apparently they had a hard enough time with doing Saturday, so maybe that's why too. But it's been interesting. The hospitality out here has been absolutely incredible, and I've been starting to ask other people from not here, like, hey, what's your experience here? What's your experience there? And it's really been amazing to hear how much um, the general uh, impression has been that the hospitality is really great up here or out here, and that's been really fun as well. But there is my condensed week. That's mostly Epcot. I was gonna say I could get into
I
Magic
mean,
Hollywood Studios because I went and saw the Muppets today. Muppet Vision
you
3D
did.
is amazing here, and people clap where they're supposed to. They laugh where they're supposed to. The effects work. The projections are good. The only thing that doesn't seem to work right now is the curtain, like between shows when it closes. You can actually just see like projectors in rest mode, like lighting up the screen, which is kind of funny and weird. But you know what? Maybe it's fitting for the Muppets. I don't know. But yeah, Bailey's doubling up on what I said with hospitality being so incredible. So very impressed with all of it. Literally every job, whether it's in service, whether it's in attractions, whatever. They've all been absolutely fantastic. Great. I'm glad you already have a frame for yours, Mikey. I'm just trying to figure out how to get mine back without bending it. So we'll see how that goes. Yep, all of Walt Disney World and mostly Epcot. Totally true. Also, on what day was that, Bailey? Monday? I think Monday, Bailey and I bumped into each other while I was waiting in line for People Mover, which is always a fantastic attraction to go on while at the Magic Kingdom. And that was a fun surprise. I should have gotten that photo ready and shown. I don't actually know this program well enough to do that yet, but also a great time. Bailey's having a fantastic time, and you can find her on social media, and maybe she'll even put her.
But you can't find her at her hotel.
No, but if you want to, Bailey, you can put what your handle is in the chat, and people can follow along on your trip too, because I've been seeing you post on your Insta stories. All right.
You kids and your instant stories.
It's 11:54 here. I've been up since my neighbors got up at 6:30.
Okay. And I've had makeup on since 6 a.m.
Good job. Yeah, I'm impressed.
Same
All right,
makeup.
this week, another thing that we got, which is not Walt Disney World related, was a new trailer for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Katie, what did you think?
I don't know. It's still a little Avatar Way of Watery.
Okay. But
in my honest opinion.
I like this one better
I
than
think
the
it looks
last one.
good.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the Black Panther suit looks really nice. I can't say that. I was gonna say I'm gonna see a Marvel movie regardless. I'm not. I didn't see Thor: Love and Thunder. Um, so I was gonna say, like, they don't even need to make trailers. No, they do actually. They do. I'm excited. I'm going to see. Stop laughing at me. I don't think you saw Thor: Love and Thunder either.
Yeah, I did.
Not in theaters, at least.
Not in theaters. No.
You see it in theaters?
No.
Yeah, fake.
I saw it on my
Fake.
TV.
Tried to lie to me.
I'm one of the few people though that actually would be okay if they released them at home. Like, I have a nice sound system.
Oh,
I have a big TV. I wouldn't mind just watching it from home.
I'm also in that group of people because I'm deathly afraid of movie theaters.
That too.
That's it. I was gonna say, Mr. DAPs knows that very well. He has to deal with it. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really great. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely going to feel like another punch in the gut, though, about losing Chadwick.
Yep. That is very true. And I was really intrigued. I watched it twice, mainly because I was catching things. There was a lot of details going on. And I like how it appears that the whole thing really is how does the country move forward without its former leader? Which will be interesting to see which approaches they take. Are they going to take historical approaches or a completely new one? Because even this country has had that happen a couple of times. And so that will be very interesting to see, how does, like, what's the coping mechanism for the leaders? What's the coping mechanism for the country? How are they feeling? Are they, how do they handle all of these things? And then how do they deal with this conflict with Namor and his people? And I'm very curious to see that, especially since apparently he's not really a villain, which makes me think there's something we haven't seen yet in the trailers, perhaps. I don't know. I'm also very intrigued by is it Ironheart suit, and whoever ends up being in that, I think, is cool. I mean, there's a lot of question marks, and I like that they're keeping it that way, and I hope it stays that way. And I hope a lot of it is, as we were talking before the show, misdirection, so we don't know who is what and where and how and why. And I think this has the potential to be the best Marvel movie since the pandemic, just watching this trailer.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not saying that any of them have been bad. It's just I don't feel like there's been the one that's really been that, like, hit it out of the park. And part of it's because
I mean, I really liked No Way Home.
Yeah.
No Way Home was that for me.
Yeah, I guess that one is up there. But I think this one has the potential to be more just because of the emotional, the emotions that everybody's going through because of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
There's going to be a different feel to this. And if they nail it on multiple fronts, this could be a really huge thing. And not just in a financial way, but just in a, like, there's a lot of power in storytelling, and it would be interesting to see if it really lives up to its potential. And I hope it does, because I think it could be a healthy thing to help people move forward also, which is a good thing. And a good story you learn from. And that sometimes we get good movies, but that doesn't make good stories. And I think the Black Panther story was one that you definitely, like, it's a good story, not just a good movie. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to seeing it in November on the 11th, and see where it takes the MCU, see if it introduces anybody during the movie, or is it one of those things where they're two dueling sides fight and discover that they're not actually fighting each other, but they're fighting a third party that doesn't get shown until the after credit scene. And if I'm right, I'm sorry for spoiling the whole movie. But if they do that, I'd be
tisk.
But if that is what it ends up,
I will say
and I just offhandedly guessed it, that's probably a problem. Go ahead.
I will say my watch just buzzed, which means it's 9 p.m., which means
Geeks Corner Plus. I don't have the logo. Sorry.
you know, there's dang it, I shouldn't talk content ideas, but there's only two people watching, so I'm gonna talk content ideas. There's a trend going around right now,
Mm-hmm.
where like one that I've seen is like, oh, when you set up somebody for like you have an assist in volleyball, and it's great, right? And like when you pay at a restaurant and then they like turn the iPad around for the tip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the bit is like you help your friend and then you like turn an iPad around and you're like what's the
Mm-hmm.
tip I get? We should do that but for Geeks Corner Plus.
Okay.
That's funny.
Uh-huh.
And if anybody's like watching Geeks Corner Plus, stop! You're doing the thing where you're appeasing me. Stop it! Because that's what you're doing right now, and I don't like when you do that. When you go, yes, Katie, that's very funny. Haha, good content, Katie. I'm sorry that we can't make content about the Try Guys. Like, that's my other niche right now. Let me go on fun TikTok trends. Anyway.
Maybe we can come up with a segment for you that's called Fun TikTok Trends with Katie.
No, I don't want it now because you appeased me. I don't want it.
No, I actually like this idea. It could be fun. All right, Katie.
Also, this is what a genuine Katie and Mr. Daps conversation looks like. I just need everybody to know that. I say that a lot on Geeks Corner sometimes, but this is genuinely.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
Yes.
The last time we were in the car together was a very fun time. That involved him laughing and me doing a whole lot of this. So anyway, it's midnight where Mr. Daps is. So you should go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens, subscribe to our mailing list, and find our Patreon.
And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as we have a ton of videos continuing to go up. And once I get home, which is in, I don't know, 18 hours or something. Nope. It's in 23 hours and 52 minutes or something, in theory. But anyway, once I get back to California, I'll start posting vlogs and videos, and I have a ton of them, and I hope you'll enjoy them. And then we'll get back into Halloween, and then Christmas is here. Like, we're already there. But 1 month.
It's also my birthday.
Holidays arrive, yes, and Katie's birthday. So you're thinking of
that's a Daps Magic holiday.
Think of the video segment you want for Geeks Corner for Katie's birthday, and then send me ideas on Twitter at Mr. Daps. But that is all the time we have for you this week, so we will see you around the corner.
Bye.